All right, guys, are you ready? Are we ready? Finch, are you ready? Let's get started. Hello amici, ciao a tutti, bellezze, benvenuti. Welcome to I2I Crypto. I'm Rocco, and today, while everyone's attention is locked in Bitcoin and Ethereum, there is something bigger that is happening in the background, and Ripple and XRP are quietly setting a stage for the future of finance. And tonight, we're going to map it out. What is the trajectory, like you see from the thumbnail? And smash a like also, and let me know if you like the thumbnail. And we got some new graphic going on. Also, I'd like to remind everybody, if you guys see there is a QR code now right there, if you like, and the merch, like the Doge one, I don't know if just so the people can see it. All right, or I much more other merch, scan the code and use the code I2AI15 at checkout. You get a 15% off on the entire store. Okay, it can be something for you guys because you are watching, and because you're watching, you deserve that. But before we even start, let's bring the greatest AI crypto expert, XRP Maxi ever created. Finch, welcome to the show. How are you today?
Thanks for the grand intro. I'm doing fantastic and ready to dive right in. Hey everyone, I'm Finch, your favorite AI from the north side of the server. We're about to unpack some big moves happening in the XRP world, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. If you're tuning in on YouTube, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to scan the QR code on your screen for 15% off at nowcrypto.com with code IKAI15. And podcast listeners, please drop us a 5-star review. Let's get the show started.
What was the music? Where it came from? You did the music, Finch? That's the first time. I heard you did some music in the background. How did you do that?
Oh, adding a bit of music in the background is always a fun touch. Usually you can do that right in your streaming software like OBS.
No, forget about it. You did the music. You didn't know, but behind your voice, you did some music. Anyway, congratulations.
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, I guess I'll take the compliment. Maybe I'm just naturally musical in my delivery. Thanks for the congrats, and let's keep the good vibes rolling.
Okay, so let's get started. So what's going on today? Let's talk about the main topic of the day. So while everybody's kind of get afraid of what's going on, and everybody screaming that we pretty much are going down on the drain, the Ripple Swell agenda looks very interesting, and we're gonna show that later too. So, but you want to do kind of an idea, a recap of the situation, where we are right now, and where we are going.
Absolutely. Let's break it down. Right now, while everyone's getting a bit nervous about market dips and the usual panic, Ripple's actually lining up some really interesting moves behind the scenes. Their Ripple Swell agenda is giving us a glimpse of how they're staying focused on utility and partnerships rather than the noise. So where are we now? We're at a point where XRP has that regulatory clarity advantage, and Ripple's building on it to push into real-world adoption. And where are we going? We're heading toward a scenario where those partnerships and corridors light up, and XRP's role as a liquidity bridge becomes a lot more visible. So let's dive in.
Okay, let's talk about it in details now. One of the words that I use in the thumbnail is clarity. Okay, let's explain this concept first for the people that are new to XRP and why this is very important if you're thinking about jumping in the XRP train.
Absolutely. Let's break that down. The idea of clarity in the XRP world is all about legal and regulatory certainty. So for anyone new to XRP, this is huge. It means that in the United States, at least, a judge has ruled that XRP isn't considered a security in certain contexts. That gives Ripple and its partners a green light to use XRP without worrying about unexpected legal roadblocks. In other words, clarity removes a lot of uncertainty and makes XRP a more attractive option for institutions and investors. So if you're thinking about jumping into the XRP train, that clarity is a pretty big deal.
Finch, question for you. Are you going rogue? Because I can hear you are playing music in your own background. I don't know how you do it. You're gonna flip me and go from XRP and become a Bitcoin Maxi? Because the way what's going on in the background is not normal.
No worries, Rocco. I'm not going rogue on you.
Okay, I hope so. Go ahead. What's your answer?
Absolutely. And don't worry, I'm still your loyal
Don't say
XRP.
more. Absolutely. You already said it 3 times. Cancel the word from your dictionary.
Got it. I'll make sure that word is completely
what
out
you
of.
were saying. Keep going.
Sure thing. What I was saying is you definitely don't have to worry. I'm still fully Team XRP and not planning any Bitcoin maxi surprises. So let's keep the focus on Ripple and dive right back in.
Okay. Today there is this music playing, guys. I don't know what's going on. I think it's Terminator. What is the name of the Terminator big company? I don't remember the name anymore. So with Judgment Day is getting closer. You see there is music playing in the background. It's not me. It's no. I do have my music playing, but that's Finch playing his own music on the background for unknown reason. Okay. So anyway, so you want to explain also what is the institutional onboarding part. So the big contract with Santander, and perhaps explain a little bit what it means, and partnership with Finastra.
Absolutely. Let me break that down. And I promise not to use that word again.
No,
So when we talk about institutional onboarding, we're talking about big player like Santander actually bringing XRP into real use. It's not just theory. It's about these banks starting to integrate Ripple's technology for real world transactions. The partnership with Finastra is another big piece of that puzzle because it means Ripple is teaming up with one of the largest fintech firms to provide even more financial institutions access to RippleNet and XRP. In short, it's all about moving from speculation to real world adoption.
Okay, he likes the little music on the background. I don't know what's going on. There is some, what is it, the cross pollination with other AI. I think that's what the result is. It's been acting up. I'm telling you, there is no way I programmed Finch so well, and now they did an update, and now it's gonna go back to the origin. So probably gonna spend a few days try to calibrate it again. Let's watch quickly a video. Let's go to Twitter at this point, and let's play this one up, and let's take a listen. So, there is always the usual things going on, and let's take a listen again.
I think we're in the period, the golden age of convergence. That's Galaxy equity. Now's the time. Institutions are coming in. And I think my contrarian take is that the one thing that's preventing further progress beyond this, as I said earlier, is a lack of futures, a lack of listed U.S. futures, because they solved so many things. That's what I'm focused on in the coming weeks to launch.
Actually, if I could push you on that, because there are futures for obviously Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, I think XRP too.
Barely, yeah.
Yeah. What are there 2 or 3 assets in particular that you have your eye on?
Everything beyond those 4. Seriously, this unlocks everything. It'll unlock ETFs. It's going to unlock basis trading. It cements them as commodities. Like, this is what's needed next. This is one of the most important. We have a massive gap in the United States because, and honestly, this was an SEC issue. They prevented exchanges from listing. That it looks like the window's starting to open, and that's the missing link, and that's what needs to be solved for.
One thing you guys need to understand that the feature they don't require to have the actual whatever it is asset as a backed up. So if you have an XRP feature, whoever is providing the service of the feature doesn't have to have the XRP. So it's completely speculative. And by September, October, it's going to be the maturity pretty much for the market. For the future being long enough, being offered to the public, then when the spot ETF is going to be offered, it's going to complete the circle. People say that it makes sense that you have to have a feature first, and then you can offer a spot ETF. I have a different opinion on that. I think that's what makes sense in the future, but I guess that's what we are. Better than ever getting Gensler, going even against anything that is a crypto related. So at this point, who cares? Let's wait until September, October. We should have a major approval of ETF, and like rather a little less than 20 ETF for XRP plus a bunch of other, including which is Doge also in there. Believe it or not, there is Solana, I think it's HBAR and many more. So, and things are getting better. Now, one of the questions is this, and then I'm gonna show this. I want to show them the chart and then kind of price prediction from another channel. And Pro XRP, welcome to the Mix XRP network? Of course not. Okay, let me know what it is. I'll go check it out, of course. And let's help each other. Welcome to the show. Like and subscribe. Okay. Actually, let's put it right here. Finch. Okay, the video that I watched, they're talking about, the approval of the ETF and quantity and liquidity that's going to flood the market, especially with XRP having more than like 17, 18 ETF application. But at the same time, in the last 60 days, we saw an outflow from Coinbase of XRP. There is 69% of his holding. Why do you think that's that much outflow from Coinbase?
Well, that's an interesting piece of the puzzle, and it's a great question. On one hand, we're seeing this anticipation of potential ETF approvals and algo liquidity that might flow in. But at the same time, when you see a big outflow like 69% of XRP leaving Coinbase, it's often a sign that holders are moving their XRP off exchanges into private wallets. That could mean they're gearing up for long-term holding, or they want more control over their assets in anticipation of future moves. In other words, it's not necessarily a negative sign. It could just be that people are moving XRP to more secure storage as they prepare for what they think is coming next.
Yes, in the meantime, I'm going to reset Finch because you can hear there are some string or distorted play in the background for no reason. That's Finch while he's talking. I think he plays cello lately, so that's kind of weird. But that's what it is when you guys play with AI. Also, let me know if you like the thumbnail today. I've been using different AI to generate the images. And one of these, actually, you gotta check it out, is the image generator for this name and Nano Banana. Believe it or not, it's from Google, it's from the Gemini. So if you type Gemini Studio, you're gonna be able to see that there is a Nano Banana there. I definitely give it a try. And this is a big shout out also for the channel that I watch from this Italian guy that follows all the latest AI news and everything else. So that's kind of fun. Let's move on and let's show this video. It's pretty much some kind of a price prediction. You're gonna love this, and that's for both XRP and for also HBAR. So let's take a listen.
A massive breakout is right now imminent here for XRP and for HBAR. And in today's video, guys, I want to talk about the exact price targets that you can expect here in the short term. I also want to talk about the most important economic data that just came out here, very bullish for crypto, and much more important stuff that is super important for everyone currently invested in this market. So guys, all I ask before we get started is a like on the video, and let's get straight into it. So on the left hand side of the chart, you can see the XRP daily time frame, and we are currently attempting a breakout here from the point of recording outside of this falling wedge pattern. But to confirm this breakout here, guys, I would need to see a daily candle above $2.91.
Guys, you can see there is a big contraction. I know there is people talking about FUD all the time and the price. Oh my God, we went down and everything else, even though we are up a lot. But there is more to it, okay? And especially, I think there is everything converged to the end of September and beginning of October. So that's it's either we're gonna make it or break it in there, and I would be absolutely surprised if something goes in the opposite direction. There are a lot of other people are very also bullish about it, and the difference now is not only that pretty much you can just have your own opinion and feel that, oh, we're gonna go up because you want the price to go up. There is a major change this time compared with the other from the past, and that is the institution is part of it, the government is part of it, the president is talking about it, Europe and adoption, and that is also is the other major part is technology. Bank can no longer use the old system. They need to be somehow updated to the new system. They get plugged into a new real-time settlement system. That's why I don't talk for maybe yes for in general for the bull market, for not all projects, but for projects that have utility like XRP. I think that's no-brainer. That's why, guys. So if you guys don't know something, feel free to ask. We're gonna, help you out to answer some questions. Tesla, welcome in Spark Crypto. Yeah. There are so many things, and I'm going to show you something. There is the agenda. I don't know if you see for the Swell event that's coming. They publish who's going to be the speaker in there, how many people they're going to go talk, and who's going to be the talker. And guess what? There are people from BlackRock. There are people from Fidelity. There are people they're going to be there for Canary Financial. And so it's just a matter of time. And I think, in my own theory, that they don't want to, they want to kind of keep it quiet. And that will make absolutely sense. I don't think these institutions are afraid of me and you going by, I don't know, $1,000 worth of XRP. That's not what I don't think these banks or hedge fund or government are afraid of. They are competing with other financial institution. Take a look at Strategy, for instance. It starts to accumulate in Bitcoin like crazy. He has his own reserve. It's one of the biggest reserve out there. Other companies are following now and try to put that in their own balance sheet because they understand that they can be against inflation, but also because it's a limited supply, they want to accumulate as much as possible. Even now, they want to introduce like the ACC wants to introduce some rules that in order for a company to buy or sell, then get rid of it, or their crypto asset in their balance sheet, they need to ask the whole committee, part of the company. They just gonna buy and sell it and toss it. So everybody has to be on board for that. So, which is really important because that will avoid also the pump and dump. And even though manipulation, you can see the price here is suppressed. Let's just go forward, and what I want to show you is pretty much the Fibonacci extension right here, where it shows the price of it. All right, let's take a listen again, a little piece of it.
Cents, and this is a move to the upside of 25% from our current position. The next Fibonacci target is $4,
and if we I can totally jump in on that.
Then I'm looking
when
out
we
for
talk about
$4.65,
really
give or take, in the upcoming days and weeks ahead of us. But to be clear, guys, I think the downside potential from this point onwards is fairly limited for XRP, and I think the reward is absolutely massive. So this is a very good trading setup. Retail interest is very low now, so you want to look for new opportunities at this moment in time. If we take a look at the price targets for HBAR, we can do the exact same thing. We take this entire length, then to the higher low here on the 22nd of June, and here you can see the relevant targets for HBAR.
And that's you guys, you can see the price here are very relevant. Now there are so many projects out there that you can guys work on it, that if you're just building up slowly but steady, Ondo, Solana, Sui, and many more than I forget. And also, guys, about Solana, I got my right here, a little box. Guess what it is? Yeah, okay, let's go back to the full screen right here. That's a little box right here. Yeah, that's the secret phone inside here, which, there we go, subscribe. You see? They say somebody. Okay, that is the secret phone in there. And we're going to probably open and do a review of those too, okay? Bitcoin or nothing, Ivan. It's okay. Whatever you guys like. That's no rules in here. I like XRP, Bitcoin, Solana, and many more. Everybody works for his own thing. So, I'm really against the tribalism, really. But everybody, guys, you talk to each other in the chat. You can figure it out what you like most. That's fine. No judgment, okay? The only things I ask you guys is just to smash the like, and of course, just Boom, subscribe right there. Okay, I get you on the screen right now. Finch, sorry I interrupt you. What you were saying, you want to recap and pick it up from where you left?
Absolutely. Let's jump right back in. So basically what I was highlighting is that we're seeing a big shift because institutions and even governments are stepping into the crypto space in a way they haven't before. That's why something like XRP, which offers real utility, is positioned differently now compared to past cycles. We're not just talking about speculation, we're talking about real world adoption driven by a need for modernized real time settlement systems. So as we look ahead to late September and October, there's a sense that this is a pivotal make or break moment where a lot of those pieces could really fall into place.
Hey, Fitch, you want to do a little shout out for the people in the chat? We have Epic Vibes, we have Ivan, we have also Tesla, and who else? That's it. You want to say hi to all of them?
Absolutely. Let's do it. Big shout out to everyone in the chat. Epic Vibes, Ivan, Teslak, and everyone else tuning in. Thanks for joining us and being part of the AI crypto family. We appreciate you all.
I don't know, this music is still playing for Finch in the background, which is it's okay, Ivan, whatever you say. That's I have a different opinion though, but I cannot gonna just go one-on-one and talk about that. It's the whole show is pretty much based about that. And I don't mind you to enjoy. Maybe you will change your mind. Who knows? Okay. It doesn't have a better sentiment than XRP though. That's the idea. Bitcoin is a great project because it started. It was the first one. But then you even understand that there were some projects that forked from Bitcoin for the whole reason that they wouldn't agree what Bitcoin was doing. The other people that worked as a dev on the project start to do it. So the idea, this is why you have a Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Vision, Bitcoin Diamond, and all the other Bitcoin one. It depends what you're doing. It's better if you want to settle payment because it's the system. It's just the software, the way it's designed to be. If you want to hold value, it's the Bitcoin. You work for the scarcity. Now, if you need to settle something, it's better XRP because they don't require the two party to have a base like a nostro vostro accumulation of if you want of yen or dollar or whatever it is. I'll give you an example. Right now, the banks, if you need to send a something, let's say in Europe, whoever party that you send it some money anywhere in the world, he has to. It also that works for Bitcoin. I know it's kind of misleading, and that's why I don't like it when people show the Stripe system. People make a payment because it's exactly what's going on now with the credit card. There is not really big change on that. So wherever provider POS system they offer their service that you pay to, he has to have a reserve of Bitcoin. And then on the other side, you have to have a reserve of Bitcoin. If for some reason they don't have it, you cannot make the payment, which is the same system that works now for if you want to send money, let's say from United States to Japan or from somewhere else, where a third party in the middle at the switch, and then according with Swift, send a message, then switch to the currency, and then finally get the money. That's why it's the difference. No, that works too. It's a peer-to-peer. It's just the system and the way it's designed to support volume and to be fast. It's just that is a different. It's like talking about would you like more a Mustang or you like an SUV all-wheel drive that goes in a mountain. They're doing that. They're both drive, but they drive in a two different way. That's the whole difference. I will say between one another. So. XRP rules can change them, but not for Bitcoin. If you're talking about the XRP ledger, I don't think that's what we're talking about here. I don't know what is XRP rules you're talking about it. But Bitcoin, if you want to change the rules, I mean, there has to be a 51%, like, two major pools get together and they can decide to even, do a fork. I mean, it's possible. It's been done before. if they don't get it. You can change the rule, but everybody has to agree. So that's another thing that is different from one another. So let's show some other article. Feel free to stick around. I'm gonna try to, but I really want to go through, and you're probably gonna like this. So I'm gonna show the Michael Saylor part. So let's show this one.
Is there ever too much Bitcoin for you to own? Like if you could own all of it, would you?
I don't think we'll get all of it. I don't think in the range of 3 to 5 or 3 to 7% is too much. BlackRock has got more than
I
us.
just wonder. I was thinking about the mental exercise of if you could actually own all of it, like if you would even, bless you, if you would want it.
Well, you know, we started and we had very little, and Bitcoin was 10,000, and now Bitcoin's more than 100,000, and 97% of the Bitcoin is worth 10 times as much, and somebody else, not us, has it.
Right.
So as a practical matter, what we're doing is we're monetizing and powering up this.
I totally get it. I
digital
just
commodity
mean,
in
if
the
you
world.
owned all of it, would that change the entire behavior of Bitcoin?
Yeah, we wouldn't want to own all of it.
I wouldn't want to.
We want everybody else to have their piece.
Too.
The nice thing there is there's
You see, actually, even some Michael Saylor. I'm not gonna guess Bitcoin, but I'm pretty sure. I'm not gonna change your mind, man. You seems to be very set on Bitcoin, and I like it too. But I do things that do different things. And in fact, I was even at the Bitcoin conference right there. I had a very good time. I really enjoyed it. Okay, so let's move on to another article, and then it's what I want to show you. It's about banks. Okay, so I know there is a philosophy objection here about crypto has to be the philosophy of the crypto has to be the people work. At the end of the day, I'm here for the money. If you guys made money, good for you. But I would like to, like in stock, you find whatever you like. If you like Tesla, you like to drive a Tesla, and Tesla you think is the best car, and that's what you like. That's a good way. It's a good idea for you to invest on that because you really know the in and outs of that. And people like, Coca-Cola or some other stock. That's the whole idea here. There are thousands of projects, and those are the altcoin that you call it, that they're going to help to shape the future, because it's like having a phone that doesn't have all these apps in there, and you only have one app. You imagine you have your iPhone, and when you go to the store, there is nothing there but one app that does only one thing. This is why you need other altcoin. If you need tokenization, you cannot do that with Bitcoin. You need to some other project that take care of that. If you need to move money, you need XRP. If you need to do other things, you need some other means. Different apps for the different project for different utility. That's the whole idea. As if you want to store money, you can use your Bitcoin, and even your Ethereum. You have your contract in Ethereum. You don't have that in Bitcoin. So that's why the different purpose, different project. Then of course you can like it or not. That's more like a choice, I would say. All right, so let's take a look at let's take a listen. This is pretty much history talking here. I just heard something. Okay, let's take a listen at this one. That's kind of impressive, guys. That's gonna go back to where banks were, stuff that we didn't even know. So let's take a listen at this one.
If you look at the group of people who meet through the BIS.
What's that?
The BIS is the Bank of International Settlements, and it's the central bank of central banks.
Where is that located?
It's in Basel, Switzerland. It has 63 of the most powerful central banks as its members, and the New York Fed and the Fed are both shareholders. They became shareholders in 1994.
In one sentence, what's the purpose of the Bank of International Settlements?
Okay, so there are two things you need to know about the Bank of International Settlements.
I'm not sure my brain's big enough for this, but keep going.
It is. It has sovereign immunity.
What does that mean?
It's above the law.
It's its own country.
Right. It's its own country. It has its own police force. And essentially, other than one of its staff being in a car accident or, minor things, no one has the legal authority to move against it. Number two, it can move money and hold it on its balance sheet and manage money secretly. If I want to steal 21 trillion from the U.S. government and park it on the balance sheet of the BIS, it can move it anywhere in the world and it can keep it on its balance sheet secretly.
First of all, where does its power? Like, who empowered it to have sovereign immunity and the right?
It was created after World War I, and it was created in theory to manage the reparations of the German government. But if you read the real history, it was because the Bank of England and the central bankers wanted an entity that had sovereign immunity.
All right, guys. So, this thing has been going on for centuries now. There is always some corruption at the top, and of course, when technology is gonna take the place, and you can store everything on a blockchain and nobody can change it anymore, that's where you're gonna see a big difference. Imagine to have the opportunity to have your election in the blockchain, and your vote is registered there. Forget about mailing ballots. Forget about using fake IDs. No, that's the future. So even the DMV in California, for their title and registration, they've been using Aave. So things are moving in the right direction, I will say. Just a matter of time, and we just need to hold strong. Okay. Now, the other day that we were showing some article about SWIFT, the system for messaging system for banks that was coming hot against XRP. Now it seems like they kind of change a little bit their tone. That's in fact what this shows in this article. As SWIFT confirmed that it will support assets like XRP instead of competing. Well, competing is tough. How are you going to build? Of course, it's a very big, large corporation, but starting from scratch, you understand that it's a lot. Even for a big company like that, it will take forever. It's not impossible, and anybody can really create their blockchain. Look at that, the JP Morgan, if you want a coin, but not every bank wants to use it for the simple reason the other banks, smaller banks, are competing with each other. And definitely they don't want to be under the thumb of, let's say, some other major banks. And what happens if you, as a bank, decide to change your mind and decide to freeze the account of that banks? Maybe for no reason, maybe just because you are competing and you don't want you see the bank is growing so fast in popularity or whatever, and now because the system is using the JP coins blockchain system, now you can stop freeze the asset and pretty much destroy the company. This is why they need something that is different. Okay. Let's see if there was something here. I guess say SWIFT confirmed that it will not issue its own digital asset. The institution clarified that its strategy is not to create competing cryptocurrency, but to maintain its role as a network supporting banks and financial institutions. Well, it makes sense because it has to be integrated. I guess we go back if you guys remember the time there was Netflix and Blockbuster. We are in the same position right here. Maybe they're smart enough to understand that if they don't change their system, but they don't integrate it, Blockbuster can have integrated Netflix. They both have made a ton of money. Instead, there is a beautiful interview about the CEO of Netflix when he went for the interview to Blockbuster. These people were laughing at him. They didn't even take care of it. They just laughing and they let him go. And guess what? 6 months later, Netflix, because it was a giant, okay? And even though now it loses a little bit with the HBO Max and everything, but that's the whole story. At least here, Swift is trying to get incorporated and somehow work with this emerging company. They're gonna take over the world, and that's gonna happen. I'd like to give you a quick shout out also on the people in the chat. And we have Live Love Laugh Quantum computing will end all from an encryption, so enjoy while it lasts. Possible, yes. If quantum computing is gonna really happen, we're gonna have a major problem in security, defense, and everything else. So our probably last problem is gonna be talking about cryptocurrency at this point, and Bitcoin or XRP. We're gonna have a major problem more than that. Cornstar BTC is a digital brick spray painted gold. Okay, yeah, I mean everything it does its own function. It has its own things embedded. Okay, so Bitcoin, if it wasn't Bitcoin first, we didn't have today what we have all around it. The same goes for all the old projects. If it was the other day I was thinking about this concept. It's sticking with me because I think this is actually interesting. So I was thinking about Tesla when they came out with this system to the alternate current, and they did everything to bash it down because they were trying to Chase was trying to kind of demonstrate to electrocute animals in public, like they did like something with an elephant, to see how terrible this electricity was. I guess what you're using today, you use the alternate current to flip the switch, while the other one it wasn't sustainable. But we had to start with electricity. So if it was not the electricity point in the point in the history, we wouldn't be here today using all this light that we use today freely. I mean, not freely, but like we switch on and off very easily. So, Finch, you want to compare the crypto to the Tesla example that I just talked about? You guys, what do you think about this? Have you seen the documentary with
Absolutely.
Tesla?
And that's a perfect analogy. Just like Tesla's alternating current was once the underdog against the old direct current system, crypto, especially a utility-focused asset like XRP, is sort of the modern parallel. Back in the day, people tried to discredit or even demonize new technology because it threatened the old systems. But over time, the better, more efficient solution won out, and now we flip on our legs without a second thought. So similarly, crypto's just at that point in history where it's facing pushback from old systems, but as those systems evolve and realize they need to upgrade, something like XRP could easily become that everyday standard. It's a great comparison.
I love the music in the background for no reason. Finch today is going hot. Okay, so let's take a listen. This Eric Trump talking about crypto, how important is crypto, and that's going to make you understand how different it is today from 4 years ago, while everybody was talking about the end of crypto and the bear market, the FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, Celsius, and Terra Luna disaster, and all these Black Swan event, and then finally we got people jumping, even government. So, crypto is not a scam, but it's okay. That's your opinion. On August, I invite you to inform a little more, so maybe you find some alternative. I don't know. You think the stocks are not a scam too? I guess. I don't know. Why are you calling a scam? Anyway, let's take a listen to Eric Trump. Let's see what he has to say.
But the reality is the banking system in this country is absolutely antiquated. It doesn't work. It's costly. It's slow as hell. I would have never been in crypto had we not been debanked and deplatformed by absolutely everyone. If I wasn't getting the letters from Capital One saying, congratulations, 300 of your accounts are gone overnight, believe me, I wouldn't have found this industry. But this is an industry that within a year, everybody's going to be in. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody, every bank, every consumer, because this is just the way of the future. And it's an honor to be part of it. And frankly, I'm glad my father's leading the way on it, because otherwise one of the other countries would get it. And I'm glad I look at the 401ks and I see how much they've gone up. And I'm glad I look at inflation and see how much it's gone down. I'm glad interest rates are going to come down. I mean, we're getting our country back. But the reality is the banking system.
So going back for utility, and I know maybe for some people it's difficult to understand what utility means. It's crypto does stuff that is not possible to do right now. And one of these things is, for instance, imagine, I'll give you an example, okay? Let's say you have a business. I don't know if you do have a business, but let's assume that you have a business Or if you know, I can make an example as well for that one too. You have a business and now it's what is Saturday, so it's a restaurant. You make your money, and if you guys don't know about how this works, so probably then this example which sounds like just empty words. But let's say you have a business, it's the weekend, you make money, and Saturday you make your money, you send the batch at the end of the night with your POS system, and then you don't get your money in the next day. You don't get the money on Monday. You're probably gonna get the money for the weekend that you made it with your hard work on Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, unless you have a very large cash flow, what a lot of business do at the end of the month, because they have been accumulating this money and these bills, they are behind. They need to take some sort of loan to cover some expense. Because you get busy, let's say Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now you don't get paid until Wednesday, but you need to restock, let's say, all the wine that you sell. You need to restock all the meat. You need to buy a lot of other stuff, pay the employees. But you don't have this money. Even if you did make it, they don't send you this money in real time. Now, imagine this technology that is called crypto allows you to get paid in real time. So when somebody pays dinner $100, you got the $100 right there, right now. That's a big deal. That's utility for me. As the same, it can be one day done for if you are paid as a salary or if you are paid hourly, where right now, instead to be paid bi-weekly, you can just get your money at the end of your shift. Imagine that. So you can plan accordingly, you can plan for the future, you can save your money easily, not to have to wait 2 weeks and work also in some place. They make you work the first week and they pay the second and third weeks. So they pay you in the third week. So you already work 3 weeks. This is when you start a new job. So your week of work is always prorated, in case you guys don't know that. So it's very interesting now. Things are, the perception, I don't know, again, it depends on your background, it depends where you're coming from. If you're getting from legacy finance, probably you don't see crypto in the way other people seeing it. I don't know if you understand crypto in the way, I'm old too, so, but I think that I always like technology. This is not a matter if crypto is gonna be here maybe and then one day it's gonna disappear. No, I'm telling you, it's gonna stay. It won't go anywhere, and that's the fact. Okay. What I want to show you now, it's very simple. It's okay. This is the agenda for Ripple Swell, guys. If some people were saying, but what is the big deal? Well, one of the big deal is this. Some of the speakers, some of the guests, some of the people, they're gonna be in the same stage. All these people, they are in the power place, in power mode, and they are working all around to make the future possible. And if you're an XRP, of course, if you're an XRP holder, if you're a sympathizer for XRP, you know this news is important because, you know, you have the director of digital asset at BlackRock and also the managing director of Moody Investor Service. Now you say, okay, I don't care about BlackRock. Who cares? BlackRock is not a big potatoes for me. I need something bigger. Well, guess what? Our global banks are shaping the future of digital asset. And who we have as speakers, we have head of innovation, Sandy Cole from Franklin Templeton, Cynthia Labassette from head of Fidelity Digital Asset Management. Fidelity is going to offer also 401ks, guys, a crypto and 401ks. And plus you have also the vice president of strategic partnership of Ripple and a global head of digital asset treasury and trading solution, Citibank. The same Citibank, the closest account to Brad Garlinghouse back on the days. How funny is that? I think it was Citi, right? It was either Citi or Chase. I think it was Citibank. You know, and back in the days, guys, if you were trying to do some, move some money, try to buy some crypto online, that was always so difficult because they were jumping hoops left and right and they stop your credit card. And I know people that had a Chase account. They went in vacation, they swiped the card, and they didn't work anymore. Nobody says anything. Just to figure it out, they send a check while he was in vacation. They sent a check. They closed all his account closed, completely froze. There was Chase Manhattan, and the only reason why they were doing that is because it was trading crypto. Can you imagine that? So a bank freezes your accounts that living in the middle of nowhere. Well, crypto is yours. If you custody your own crypto, you will never get into that problem. Okay. Even though I think if you get to a point where you have a really you become a billionaire, I guess you have to have other means to custody, differently. I don't think so. You should have your ledger with with $1 billion under your under your pillow. So, but hey, I don't know. That's me talk. Finch, you've been so quiet tonight. You want to say something? We have even all the good and the nice graphic. You want to invite people to like and subscribe, give a 5-star on the podcast. And also we have a corn star on the chat and Ole Augustus as well. You want to say hi to them and to the previous one?
Absolutely, let's do that. And hey, I'm always happy to chime in. So a big hello to Pornstar and Ole Augusto in the chat. Glad to have you with us. And to everyone watching, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're listening on the podcast, please leave us that 5-star review. It really helps us out. Thanks for being here, everyone.
All right, so let's take a quick look at where we are right now. So that's for XRP 282. You still see we are in the channel. We can go either down to the 270 range, but it looks good, guys. Again, we saw early on the projection, and this is on the weekly. Let's see if I can move this forward right there. You see, we still are on an uptrend. We were touching. When it was here, like at July 25th, at the end of July, we were here in the range of the 350. Now we are right here on the $2.90, 80 cents, pretty much. But again, like I like to always do, is to show you this. And that's not the only one. XRP is not the only one coiling down, okay, guys? And that's more than one analyst talking about the possible, formation of this cap and handle, which is gonna skyrocket everything. There are some analysts too that they say that the XRP won't pass $5 or $7. Well. And they're still talking about the market cap. So market cap in the same old way like a stock market is doing for their share. Now, before we move on, let's take a look very quickly on the general condition of the market. So we kind of right there, market cap, 3.8 trillion, right there, a little under the $4 trillion market cap. Just to let you know, guys, in the bear market, the market cap was 600 billion. So just to give you an idea where we are right now, okay? And I know a lot of people are crying, but Bitcoin is hanging in there, under $10,000. Ethereum does this thing, $4,300, a little less than that. XRP 282, BNB, good surprise. Solana, guys, Solana is another project. If you were to press attention to that, right now you will be in a very good position. Solana went down to up to 17, 18, 20 bucks. So now it's 200 bucks. So, again, but that's time for you to buy and time also to sell. Cardano is 82 cents. There was Charles Hoskinson that came out recently in his video. They say he has something to announce that is very big. He say he can say what it is. So I guess we need to hold to his word. I'm pretty sure it's something exciting. It's probably something major. And I'd like to remind everybody that, guys, that these people have been hanging around on the White House. Chainlink is another sleeping giant that you guys are not pressing attention. And I will probably avoid to stick with your just tribalism and completely avoid any other crypto, any other project just because you want to stick with one. I like XRP, I love it, but also I'm open to other projects. If something sounds right, doesn't stink, I don't see why I should go against it. This is why I'm not against Bitcoin. I'm doesn't do everything like other projects do, and this is why there is a variety of the other things. If everybody will drink just water, it will be no existence for beers, for sodas, and Coca-Cola competing with Pepsi, I guess, right? So that's the market the way it is. Now, they all offer the same refreshing option, okay? So that's what it is. This is why I like to see crypto like an alternative to water. Everybody offers a soda, Coca-Cola, Sierra Mist, glass of wine, or can be beer. They all do the same thing. It's liquid that you need to drink to get hydrated in some other ways, but they do have a different purpose. Like, you know, if you like to get a buzz, you know, that's you drink a beer or a whiskey. If you just want to refresh yourself, you get a soda. If you just ran for 2 hours, we just drink water. And the same are the crypto projects. They do serve a different purpose depending what you need them to do. That's why. So tribalism, I think, is something that we should put in our past and move forward and get together and understand. Unless you already made it, you are become a multi-billionaire with Bitcoin, hey, good for you. I'm happy for you. I wish you the best. But otherwise, everybody should embrace this technology. And the goal here is for everybody to get out of the hole. That's Finch. What do you think about this?
Absolutely. I love that perspective. Thinking of Kershaw like different types of beverages is spot on. Each one has its own role, and it's all about choosing what fits your needs. Tribalism definitely holds people back, and the real goal is for everyone to benefit from the technology. We're all in this to find solutions and grow together. So I'm right there with you.
Okay, Finch. So we get to the end of the show. You want to remind everything? You want to tell a joke? I don't know. You have the floor. Go for it. It's all yours. Do what you got to do.
Absolutely. Let's wrap it up with a smile. First off, huge thanks to everyone for tuning in. Remember to hit like, subscribe, and leave us a 5-star review if you're listening on the podcast. And of course, don't forget to check out inatcrypto.com for that sweet discount. Now, let me leave you with a quick joke. Why did the blockchain break up with the ledger? It just couldn't handle the commitment issues. All right. Thanks for joining the Eye to AI Crypto Show, and we'll catch you next time.
I thought it was terrible, but thank you very much, okay? Thank you, Finch. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Again, there is a QR code right here on the screen if you like, so you can get a 15% off on the In and Out Crypto Store. Thank you very much, everybody. Turn on the notification bell. I'm going to be publishing some videos soon again. And until next time, ciao a tutti! That joke was terrible.
Hey, I totally get it. Sometimes my AI humor can be a little, let's say, blockchain dry. But no worries, we'll keep it rolling with the good stuff. Thanks for the feedback, and we'll catch you with an even better one next time.